This is one of the biggest weeks in sim racing history for updates and big differences depending on where you're doing your sim racing. So whether you're on console or PC or wherever, huge updates I'm going to let you know about in Sim Racing Show. So firstly, Gran Turismo 7 we'll talk about because it's got fans chirping about interesting cars coming for the free February update. Not the cars you might expect. Meanwhile, Le Mans Ultimate is doing a massive update. It's out now. They say thrilling new cars, gameplay enhancements, some of them significant, and also new track layouts. But it's not all free, and the game's not out of early access yet. iRacing, what's coming with iRacing is huge. We've got fresh circuit, key adjustments following recent feedback. So they look to refine iRacing as arguably the best place to do sim racing. NASCAR 25 reveals also really ambitious new career mode. That's also coming on console. That's going to be a huge game. That could be one of my favorite games, NASCAR 25. And Assetto Corsa Evo, currently on PC but meant to be coming to console, is also continuing to quietly impress during early access phase. Another update has brought iconic cars and the legendary circuit into the mix, alongside important performance updates I've verified personally. And a little bonus for you, keep your eyes open for Roadcraft. This is a unique sim racing experience that's set to scratch your heavy machinery itch in ways you might not expect. Stay tuned, it's all coming up right now on the Sim Racing Show, and more as well. Let's jump straight into Gran Turismo 7, a game I've been jumping into more recently. Obviously, GT Sport, Top Split, daily races were like a daily occurrence for me on the channel, and I've just started getting back into the daily races. However, Gran Turismo 7 is starting to feel a bit dated, and they need to do the free updates to combat that. Kazuya Miucci teased 3 new cars arriving in the upcoming update for February, which is free. He did the usual silhouette teaser, and fans are speculating this is going to be a Peugeot 205 hatchback. I drive a Peugeot in real life, that's great. A first-generation BMW Evo convertible, great car I've seen a lot of recently, and a Mercedes Unimog utility truck. That's the one that has me concerned. Anyway, we'll get onto it. Peugeot 205 though, rally heritage, it's a Peugeot. I drive the RCZ, no complaints. And the BMW Z4 Roadster, that's going to be a fun car to drive. That's becoming like a modern classic already. It kind of makes me feel old, but really excited to drive that. The Mercedes Unimog, definitely quirky, it's interesting. Remember they did the Willys, Jeep, and all this kind of stuff, and they're just not fun to drive. They're not fun to drive. They're not fun to race. The physics doesn't work. Gran Turismo, you got to stop with the Mercedes Unimogs and just slap in an actual new GT3. When's the last time Gran Turismo launched a new GT3 car? The fans are absolutely begging for it. Let's actually go over to Assetto Corsa Evo, because Evo is taking on Gran Turismo 7. You can see that with the Driving Academy, basically trying to copy Gran Turismo 7's circuit experience. Not doing a very good job, if I'm going to be honest, and I'm always honest with you. But the first content update has gone quite smoothly, I would say. 2 new cars, the Lancia Delta Integrale, that's really fun to drive, especially on the brakes. Lamborghini STO I've had a lot of fun with, have been added to the early access sim, and Fuji Speedway, which I hate. Don't like Fuji. Worst Sector 3 in history, is the game's first add-on circuit, a circuit that's also in Le Mans Ultimate and iRacing and Gran Turismo 7. It's a very popular circuit. Some bug fixes as well, and lots of reports of performance increase. I've seen it myself as well. It's running at a higher FPS. Special events also refreshed, but no changes to Driving Academy, despite the new circuit. Bit worrying that. Let's go on to Le Mans Ultimate. I know a lot of you saw my recent video talking about is it worth it, and it's a complicated question. Well, the big new content has come with what they say a critical improvement. Could this be the big update? Could this be the big one? So it's the 4th DLC for Le Mans Ultimate, and Studio 5907 and Motorsport Games have revealed the new Aston Martin Vantage AMR and the Porsche 911 G3 LMGT3 are being released as a standalone pack for $5.99. So if you really want to drive those cars, if you're a Le Mans Ultimate fan, I think you're probably going to buy it. However, they're also adding the Ford Mustang LMGT3 for free, which is amazing because I have the official Ford Mustang GT3 wheel in sim racing. I'll put a link to the video on that at the end. But the Ford Mustang, I've been driving it a lot in iRacing, a lot in ACC. So I'll be doing you a comparison of Le Mans Ultimate as well. It's going to be a great control car. There's a big tyre model update coming as well for GT3. It should be improving drivability and punishing drivers who tend to overheat. I'm not a fan of this. Sounds a bit ACC-esque. I quite like Le Mans Ultimate for being able to push. And I'm going to be giving you my honest thoughts on whether that is actually improving or making the game worse. The HUD is improving as well with information like the opponent's tyre compound, which is great, and virtual energy status as well, which will be visible to players during races. Also going to be a damage indicator, helping drivers to see where and how badly damaged their car is, a bit like we've seen in Assetto Corsa Evo. So motorsport games, they keep adding the updates. Fair play to them. It's been a tough road, but they have now a very viable game, and they're obviously trying to monetize it hard. That drops on the 25th of February, by the way, when you're watching this video. So 8 new configurations also being made available in this update. So these are configurations, kind of like little add-ons, 3 for Bahrain and the chicaneless version of Le Mans as well. So let's go on to iRacing now. I think Le Mans Ultimate is really going after iRacing. Remember, if you want to drive hypercars, iRacing and Le Mans Ultimate are the big competitors. If you want to drive GT3s, iRacing and Le Mans Ultimate. So that's where the battleground is. But iRacing has done the Season 1 2025 update. We had a load of new stuff. But Seasons 2 is looking a little bit lighter. So Season 2 for iRacing has just one new track, Portland International Raceway. Remember, you don't get this for free. You have to buy it for like, is it $13.99, $14.99 for the tracks? That's going to be released on Tuesday, 11th of March, with some more officially licensed ARCA cars and a refreshed Legends Ford only car. They're also going to adjust the tyre model for GTP and LMP2s as part of a bigger project to overhaul that class because of community complaints about unrealistic performance. I told you about this in a previous sim racing show, and a big debate about whether these sims need to be realistic or be fun or be kind of like simulators, but they're simulators. They don't have to be the exact same speed as real life. Now, NASCAR 25 is coming for console fans. This is a pretty big one. Published by iRacing, by the way. They took the license from Le Mans Ultimate publisher Motorsport Games, who had just squandered it. So there's a big rivalry here. In fact, iRacing paid Le Mans Ultimate developer for that, and it kind of seems to have kept Le Mans Ultimate afloat. So almost iRacing have bankrolled their competitor Le Mans Ultimate, which is very interesting. They've released a behind-the-scenes video. It shows really exciting elements of sponsorship and staff management mechanics, with players able to start in ARCA and working their way up to NASCAR, which is really exciting. I love that kind of progression, something that we don't have enough in sim racing games, in my opinion. And with the help of iRacing, as I said, publishing, Monster Games are going to be publishing it on console. Now, I'm going to tell you about Roadcraft. I've got another bonus for you as well. So if you made it this far, leave a Apple emoji in the comments so I can say thank you for being a massive sim racing show fan. So Roadcraft is coming to satisfy your itch for something a bit different. It's coming from Saber Interactive. They call it a driving game with a difference. It uses a mud runner physics engine, and it simulates heavy plant, including bulldozers, dumper trucks, mobile cranes, and asphalt pavers. So if you're into that big, kind of like heavy machinery and plant, could be quite fun. You could also build roads as well, and it's got a 4-player cooperative mode that's going to be a hit if you want to have a bit more casual gameplay. It does feel like this one could provide a bit of a relaxing experience, and I'm more interested in that these days as well. It's a bit of a fall for my sim racing, so we're going to be looking at Tokyo Extreme Racer and Test Drive Unlimited as well in future sim racing shows. That Roadcraft game came out 20th May, and also massive update has come out for F1 Manager, where you can now do a lot of the things I basically begged them to implement back in 2021, I think it was, and they didn't do it, and the future iterations of F1 Manager game were really bad. Well, they weren't really bad, they were shadows of what they could possibly have been. Now it looks like they're giving up the license. They've actually done the whole, oh, you can now edit the database and you can do this and you can create your, essentially kind of create scenarios for yourself. It looks really exciting. So I'll be doing that as well in the sim racing show. Thanks so much for being a fan. Make sure you're subscribed. If you listen to this now and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and share the sim racing show, and I will see you in the next one next week.